Shalom Aleichem, meine liebe Freund. Ich heiße Mottel Didner und das ist 15 Minuten Yiddish. Mehr weniger. Jede Woche bringen wir euch eine Mini-Lektie in Jiddisch Sprach und Kultur von dem Nationalen Jiddisch Theater Volksbühne. Welcome back to 15-Minute Yiddish. If you missed any of our past episodes, daigenisht, you can view them all online at nytf.org. I hope that you've been practicing your Aleph, Beis, Vase, Gimel, Dalid, und Hey, and that you're feeling more comfortable mit die hebräische Oisius.
Guck rein, das Wasser ist fein.
Today we'll take a look at our next 7 letters, beginning with Vav. This is a real workhorse of the Hebrew Aleph base, and it pulls double duty as both a vowel and a consonant. Hinde, sei so gut und schreib Vav.
Otis, Vav.
A hartlichen Dank. By itself, Vav can make the sound U as in moon or U as in book. You just need to remember which pronunciation to use when you learn a new word. Murray. What does this spell? Oh, that says du. Sehr gut. Sophia. What does this spell?
That says Bud.
Ausgezeichnet. Die Bud means a shop stall or a booth. Die Buden in the plural. Step right up and get a bud of your very own, just like one of these. You will also hear die Budke, which uses the Slavic diminutive, a little booth. Die Budkes in the plural. Vav is one of those letters that is preceded by a stummer aleph when it is the first vowel sound at the very beginning of a word. We don't have enough letters yet to spell any of those words, but it will look like this. Often, you will see 2 vavs back to back. This is called zwei Vaven. Hinde, sei so gut und schreib zwei Vaven.
Zwei Vaven.
A dank, Hinde. Zwei Vaven makes the sound V.
We already learned the letter that makes the V sound. Vase. Why do we need 2 letters that make the same sound?
A gute Frage. Professor, do you care to answer?
Certainly. In Hebrew, the letter Vav can be pronounced V, hence the name Vav, or as an U, or as an O. Zwei Vaven are used to differentiate these sounds in much the same way that a W is pronounced as a V in German and Polish, and not a W as in English. Did you ever wonder why we call this letter a double U?
Up until this moment I never did, but now I'm intrigued. Please, continue.
Have you ever seen a sign like this at the entrance to the museum?
Oh, I love to go to the museum.
In Latin, the letter that we call V also pulled double duty as both a V and an U. Over time, this letter was written with a rounded bottom, like the letter we call U, and to distinguish between an U and a V sound, 2 U's, or double U, was employed in Middle High German to indicate V.
Now I get it. Yiddish came out of Middle High German, so they did the same thing.
Precisely.
A dank, Professor, und a dank, Wayne. Hinde, sei es euch gut und lehen das Wort.
Oh, sure. That says Vogue.
Sehr gut. The Vogue means weight. It also means a scale or a balance. It makes sense when you think about how things were weighed back in the olden times, with one of these things.
Mottel, ich will etwas fragen, darling.
Adarabe.
What happens when you've got a V followed by an oo, as in the word vous?
Excellent question. It would be very confusing to see a word like this. So, to make it easier to distinguish the vowel vov from the consonant zwei vovim, we add a dot and we get what is called a malumpen vov. Malumpen is the name of the diacritical mark. Hinde, sei es euch gut.
Malumpen Vov is fun to say. What is the Vov? And what is the Malumpen?
The malumpen tells us which vov is the vowel. So this is how we would spell vu. Now that we've learned all about vov, Scott, sei es euch gut und lernen das Wort.
Va.
Sehr gut. Up next we have Zion, which sounds like Z. Hinde, please write Zion in cursive.
Zion.
Dank, Hinde. Murray, what's this word?
Let's see, that says, Zog.
Good. Sophia, here's a longer word.
Zavod.
Ausgezeichnet. Der Zavod is a Russian word that made its way into Yiddish. It means a plant, not the botanical kind, but the industrial kind. Up next we have ches, which makes the sound ch, as in Chanukah. Hinde, please write a ches in cursive.
Ches.
Ches is an interesting letter. Like vase, it has a doppelganger that makes the exact same sound. And also like vase, ches only appears in words of Lashon Kodesh origin, like chaver, and cheder, and chodesh, and cholim. But I want to illustrate an interesting point here. Professor, what is this word?
Chuv.
You would think, given everything we've learned so far, that this word would be pronounced chuv, but it's actually pronounced choiv. Der choiv means debt, the choivis in the plural. Often, in Ashkenazi pronunciation of Hebrew words, a vav is pronounced as an oi and not as an o or an u. We see this in words like toive. You just need to memorize which pronunciation the vav gets whenever you learn a new word. In words of Germanic or Slavic origin, we write the diphthong oi differently. We'll learn that in a future episode. Our next letter is Tess, and it makes the sound t. Hinde, sei es euch gut.
Tess.
Tess is a very handy letter. We use it to spell this word. Wayne. Tog. Ausgezeichnet. And we reverse that word and we get this. Scott.
Gott.
Sehr gut. Replace that Kometz aleph with a Vov and we get this. Sophia.
Gut.
Tage gut. And now we get another vowel that pulls double duty as a consonant. Please meet the letter Yud. A Yud can sound like Ya, I, or I. Hinde, sei es euch gut und schreib Yud.
Yud looks a lot like a Vav, but it's a lot shorter and it lines up with the top of the other letters. I'm going to write backwards and add a stumme aleph so you can see for comparison.
Like Vov, when Yud appears as a vowel at a beginning of a word, it is preceded by a Stummer Aleph. Murray, how would you pronounce this word? I? Close. It's actually E.
Well, how would I have known that?
You wouldn't. There are no markers to differentiate between a Yud as an I versus an E. It's just one of those things that you need to memorize as a new word comes up. This word E is Slavic for and. Sometimes you'll hear it used in place of un, but more commonly it's used to mean both one thing and another. Ich hab lieb zu essen, I Frucht, I Tort. When a yud comes up at the beginning of a word or is followed by a vowel, it is pronounced as a consonant, ya. Wayne, can you read this word? Yo. Good. What does it say? Yo. Sehr gut. What about this word? Scott.
Yud. Whoa, that's meta.
Sehr gut. When a yud vowel follows a consonant yud, we put a little dot under it. It's called a chirik yud. Chirik is the name of this diacritical mark.
Malupm Vov has a dot too. Why isn't this called Malupm Yud?
It has to do with where the dot is placed. By the way, a dot is das Pintel, the Pintlech in the plural. Hinde sei so gut und schreib chirik yud.
Here's the Yud, and here's the Chirik.
A Dank, Hinde. Murray, what's this word?
Well, that's Yid.
Ausgezeichnet.
That time I knew it was an E.
Because you already knew the word. And as your vocabulary grows and you come across these words in books or poetry, you'll also just know. But there are no hard and fast rules. This word is pronounced Yid, but the language is Yiddish.
Model, sometimes I see two Yuds together without a pintle.
Yes, those are from a group of vowel combinations that form diphthongs. We'll take a look at those in a later episode. Up next we have the letter Kof, which is one of two letters that makes the K sound. Hinde sei so gut und schreib Kof.
Here's a cough.
Again, two letters that make the same sound? Why do they do that? Noch a gute Frage. We see this in English as well. K, C, or even Q can make the K sound. S or C can both be S. And you'll see F written as an F, a PH, and sometimes even a GH. Well, I guess that's true. At different times in the history of a language, these letters or combinations of letters may have been pronounced differently and evolved over time, even though the spelling stayed the same. For example, in English, GH used to be pronounced ch. Laugh used to be pronounced lach, just like in Yiddish. But over time, the ch sound was dropped from English, and the word changed to laugh as we know it today. Kof, like ches and vase, is used in words of Lashon Kodesh origin. The other letter that makes the k sound, which we will learn in a future episode, is used in words of Germanic and Slavic origins. Professor, what do you suppose this word is?
Ah, this word I know. Koyach.
Sehr gut. Sophia, want to try this one?
Kfud.
Close. It's COVID.
COVID.
Cholile. Oh, that's a good word to know. Cholile means may it not be so, or God forbid. Cholile nicht COVID. This word is kavod. It means honor.
Oh, kavod.
Yes, but in the Ashkenazi pronunciation, it's kavod, which is related to our next word, kibid, which means refreshment, as in food that's offered to an honored guest. You'll notice that the vav is pronounced as an in the singular, but in the plural, kibudim, it's pronounced as an u. Now, here's where things get a little bit weird. Like base and vase, there's a relationship between kof and our next letter, the ever-popular Huff. We just take away the pintle. Hinde, sei so gut.
Here's a Huff. It looks just like a cough, but no.
Whereas kof is used only in words of Lashon Kodesh origin, Chof, which makes the same exact sound as ches, is used in words of Germanic and Slavic origin. Lemoshel. Murray, you should know this word. Ha. Ha? I don't get it. It's Yiddish onomatopoeia for laughter. Oh, like ha-ha. Punktazoi. Sophia, why don't you try this word?
Chvat?
Sehr gut. Der Chvat is a dapper or dashing person. Die Chvaten in the plural. Now, just to make Chof a little bit weirder, we write it differently when it appears at the end of a word. There are other letters that do this as well, but this is the first one that we encounter. When Chof appears at the end of a word, it is called langer Chof, or long Chof, and it looks like this. Hinde, sei so gut und schreib langer Chof.
This is a longer Chof. Now the tail part here goes down below where the other letters would appear. So again, I'm going to write backwards. Let's put a pasach aleph next to it for comparison.
Adag. So Wayne, what's this word?
Ich.
Sehr gut. Scott?
Woch.
Ausgezeichnet. Hinde.
Dach.
Good. Those are all the letters for this week.
Hey, Mottel.
Yo, Murray? Aren't you forgetting something? We said that we would cover Vav, Zayin, Ches, Tess, Yud, Kof, and Chof. I think we got all of them.
How about verb time?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. What's a new verb that uses the letters we've already learned? Got one. It's verb time. Today's verb is suchen, to search or to seek. Again, we know all of the letters in the stem of this verb. We haven't learned the letters in the endings, but there will be transliterations. This is a regular verb. Let's take a look. Ich such. Du suchst. Sie, es sucht. Wir suchen. Ihr sucht. Sie suchen. Alle zusammen. Ich such. Du suchst. Sie, es sucht. Wir suchen. Ihr sucht. Sie suchen. Sehr, sehr gut. Suchen is also a regular verb in the past tense. Haben gesucht. Keep practicing those new letters, and if you have a Yiddish-English dictionary, try looking up new words which use the letters which we've learned so far. And please join us again next week as we learn the letters Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samech, and Ayin. Derweil, seid gesund alle.